I wanted to talk about food with you because I know how you care. I mean, which is something really rare. People who actually care about recipes would try to find the correct ingredients for the recipes they find, and they try to do it in a correct way. And I saw how determined you were about that Persian dish that I shared with you. So that's why I asked you to talk about food today. So where does this passion come from?
I don't know. I think when I grew up as well, well, you can't share this with but my mum was an awful cook, really. She's like, it wasn't very nice food and whatever else. She was all right, tried her best. Like she just wasn't a very good cook. And then I think it's probably, I don't know. Me and Rachel always tried to cook stuff. Then we obviously went vegetarian and stuff, which was kind of, I actually did that because I was out on the road a lot with work, being an engineer, and I was just eating a lot of like, the typical McDonald's and stuff. And I was like, so I went vegetarian to try and eat healthy, but then also I like animals. So then once I started learning about it, I just ended up sticking with it. And I think that's like, must be like 12 years now. So then, you're kind of forced to look at different things anyway. But then I just think, and not only that, in stuff in jars as well, it's like, it's all just all the additives, all the preservatives and stuff. So I think when me and Rachel moved in together, like all them years ago, I think we stopped sort of buying like stuff in a jar and tried, and then, just slowly got into it. But I just think it's so much nicer. The kids love it. I mean, we still do eat. We had like a takeaway last night and stuff, but we don't really do that often. And we do always try and cook and just try new things. But I just think it's just nicer if and if you follow it properly. I don't know anyway. I'm a bit of a perfectionist anyway, so I'd always like to try and I do end up playing with stuff, and if I think I try stuff, I can be quite critical and I'll try and change it, especially if it's just like one of these Instagram recipes or something where it's not authentic anyway. But like, I think she was called the Persian Mama or something that we stole that recipe on, but I generally use that spice mix now because Winnie loves it. But we do cheat because I put a load of creme fraiche in it, so the kids obviously the kids do obviously, it just makes it very rich, doesn't it? So it's kind of easier for the kids to swallow. Where I do like stuff a little bit spicy, but I can't really do that often because Rachel's not into spice. And so, yeah. Well, I think that's just in the nature anyway, is to just try and do things properly. There's no point doing things half-hearted. You might as well have a go. I'm not saying once you get there and you do try it, you might want to make changes, maybe offend people along the way. But and do you know what as well? Like, obviously, our friend Lucio used to send him Italian recipes, but like English versions of it and stuff, and he's very passionate about his Italian food, so that extremely upset him. I sent him a video once how mayonnaise makes a great pasta sauce. I don't think he spoke to me for a week afterwards.
I think I know that Italian friend of yours. I think, is it our mutual friend, or is it someone else?
Yes, the one who used to.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, he got upset with me. To be honest, don't really speak to him that much anymore. Obviously, there's only a small group of us left now, isn't there? But yeah, he's like very passionate. So I do tend to play with Italian meals a lot more, and I tend to make them up. But as well, having kids, obviously, you want them to eat as healthy as possible and things like that. And pasta sauces and stuff are easy because Eddie's good. He'll eat anything, and Winnie's good. If you ask her, she will try food, but she'll just say she doesn't like it. Like, she doesn't like mushrooms. So if you make like a pasta sauce, you can put onions in there, peppers and all, and then just blitz it, put it in the blender, turn it into a sauce and stuff. But I think that's probably like the biggest reason is, just not only the kids try and eat healthy, and, actually, if you want to keep it up and go down that route, it also has to taste nice as well, doesn't it? Because if your food doesn't taste nice, then there's absolutely no point.
Exactly. I mean, I know that you're passionate about it because also sometimes you share your little garden stuff that you grow yourself, and then it's so amazing. Not too many people around me are into this cooking healthy or growing plants or vegetables at home, but I think it's a hobby for you.
Yeah, to be honest, maybe one day if I could get enough space as well, I'd do more. But it is fun, and to be honest, some of it is as well. If you're going to grow stuff in the garden, like I grew a lot of like edible flowers and stuff. I tried to do stuff like that, and also to try and make it easier. There's like perennial stuff as well, isn't there? You can get so grow back every year. Like we've got sage and thyme and rosemary in the back garden. But not only as well with stuff like that, kids kick a football in it, and your garden smells lovely as well. So that's a bonus. So grow stuff like that, and then we call them conservatories in the UK. They're just like a greenhouse attached to back of your house. They're pretty useless because in the summer they're too hot and in the winter they're too cold because they're all glass. But we kind of use it as a playroom for the kids. And then I've sort of overtaken it with like, I've got a load of different chilies growing. So I grew like the little padron peppers and stuff, because obviously they're not spicy, but really tasty. So I've grew them because that will ease everyone's fear of having something too spicy. So that's like a halfway, because I did grow some spicier chilies, but I dried them out and I still use them occasionally. But like from last year and the year before, I've still got like 2 years worth of chilies left because the kids and Rachel won't eat it. So I'm also growing some more of them just to keep, because I don't know what a friend who we used to work with given me. So I don't know what type of chili they are. I call them Flavio chilies because he was Italian himself. So I just call them Flavio chilies, a guy who I work with. So I've no idea what they are. So I kept them going, some habaneros as well. And then also growing some tomatoes. Well, I don't know if they're growing so well. The plants themselves are growing well, but the tomatoes seem to have slowed down a little bit. And then I'm definitely going to grow more cucumbers as well, and then try and grow them the full length of the conservatory to grow around. But they're not the right type of cucumber that I bought. I bought some that were called crystal apple because, well, cucumbers are a bit boring anyway. So I just thought I'd rather grow varieties that you're not going to get in the supermarket. So it's obviously something a bit different. And I've never seen them before, but Rachel said she likes them, but I find them a bit bland. And they're not the ones I bought. So I'm definitely going to do that again next year, but try and get a different variety, because I'm just growing the plants now because I've kind of given up on the cucumbers because I don't like the actual fruit. I'll share some photos. We got quite a few of them, but then I've given up growing them now. So I'm just going to grow, and they get loads of little lovely yellow flowers as well. So they grow like a big vine, and then you get loads and loads of like yellow flowers because they have hundreds of male flowers and then just like a couple of female flowers that you get the fruit off. But I'll just leave it and let it grow and get up. But at least you've got like a nice flowering plant, but obviously it's going to die back. So the stuff I'm growing in the greenhouse or the conservatory or the kids' playroom is just stuff like that. And I've grown some, like, as well. I mean, you can get it in the supermarket, but I've grown purple sprouting broccoli as well. So, but again, I've actually grown that before, but I give that up to the caterpillars. The caterpillars. And I was like, no, it's the caterpillars broccoli now. And then, to be fair, the tender stems still come out in the flowers, but then I was curious because obviously broccoli's florets are actually little flowers, aren't they, unopened? So I was like, no, let's just leave it and see what it does. But then where they're like quite tight, compact, they all of a sudden just shoot out, and then they get these little yellow flowers. And I was like, oh, that's really weird, that, because they look like mustard. And that's what actually it's related, isn't it? They genetically bred mustard to be like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and things like that. So
it's interesting. Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, have you ever tried pumpkins? Any variety of pumpkins or zucchini or stuff?
Rachel's tried to grow pumpkins, but we've never actually got any fruit off them, I don't think. The only reason I've not bothered with pumpkins is because they're obviously great for display and stuff, but they're not really edible. But I think the probably reason was because our garden is west facing. Growing the cucumber, I'm actually doing a bit of an experiment in the garden. I've got like same stuff growing in all different places, and then the same stuff in the greenhouse. But obviously, because of the heat in the greenhouse, it's massive. They've got millions of flowers on it. And you compare it to outside, so I think that's kind of the issue. I think you'd probably best keeping them indoors for longer, so then you get more of the male flowers and things like that. So we have tried pumpkins, but I just try and grow stuff that's I'm probably gonna try and eat. But as well, like a group, we did actually grow some mustard, but then I've got mustard seeds now, so again, they're not really. I tried to make my own mustard, but not really.
Didn't work.
No,
work in progress. Progress.
I've tried to grow garlic as well, and they've grown so well, but then they've just kind of stopped because I wanted to. Well, obviously, I use quite a lot of garlic. We love it in this house, so tried that as well. That's not done so well. We grow loads and loads of. Well, Rachel started with them, but then I sort of maintained them. But we've got hundreds of strawberry plants as well. Well, maybe not hundreds of plants, but we've got hundreds of strawberries this year from them, so that's good as well. And the kids are like eating it for the breakfast, so she's probably listening in now. To be honest, she's downstairs, Rachel, but obviously they're a bit of a joint effort now, the strawberries, because Rachel started with them all, but I've taken over the garden basically. So she goes in, does all the pruning and stuff with them, but I tend to water them and stuff. But they're good as well, because stuff with berries and stuff as well, it's more expensive, isn't it? It's like quite easy to grow, but then they're quite expensive from the shop. So if you're going to grow anything, you might as well grow them. So, and they grow like a weed. And I've tried to grow raspberries as well, but the raspberry bush itself is doing okay, but the fruit on them isn't great. So get like a little bit
I
of fruit
see.
of it, but it's literally nothing, which is a bit depressing because
No.
I think it's probably the position, to be honest. I think they probably don't get enough sun so for the fruit. So that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, they're just try and go stuff. But I forget what they're called. We grew like some of these little flowers as well, and like a little salad flower. And they're really nice. Some of them have grown back this year as well, but they taste like cucumbers. You pull the flowers off and you taste it. But I tried to get Eddie to eat one. He wouldn't eat one. So there was only me. So I was just going around the garden plucking these like little flowers and eating them. But the
That's
same.
amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really know much about gardening, but it's like great having all the flowers and stuff. But kind of think if you can make it a little bit useful, even if you don't really use it, just a bit of fun. Good for the kids as well.
That's true. Something that I really miss about Budapest is missing my beautiful little terrace that I could grow stuff. I had lots of mint. Mint is really, really interesting to grow. You just need to plant it once, and it will forever it will die during the winter, but it doesn't matter how cold it gets. The next spring, it's just gonna come out again, and the smell. Especially, it will grow even into the grasses. And I remember every twice a month when the gardeners would come to mow the lawns, the smell of fresh cut mint would get mixed with the grass, and it was so good. I really miss that, and they're really good.
To be fair, I grew some mint in the back garden, but then I've had to kill it all off because it was taking over everything.
Yes.
So no one seems to take it, but I've got this one as well. I'll share it, and it's a lovely mint plant because it's purple as well. I think Rachel from our friends, they give it to Rachel. He just turned up one day, knocked on the door, and I think Rachel must have spoke to him on Facebook, and he was like, "Oh, we've got you one of these chocolate mint plants," and you do. It smells like chocolate mint, and it's really nice mint actually because it's got a deep purple stem on it and deep purple leaves. I'll share a photo of that, but that's really nice as well. But again, you brush past it, don't you? And it just smells lovely. I had to cut a load of it down. It's gone a bit like with the weather we've had recently. I've not really been in the garden, but mint's one of them. It's better if you keep hacking it because it goes more bushy, doesn't it? But if you don't cut it, it just shoots up and it goes really leggy. So that's what it's done annoyingly. So because I've got some sage growing as well, and I grew that last year, and that tried the same. It was just growing really leggy. So this year I pinched it out, and I think we did use some of it, or Rachel used some of it recently. But that's grown better because it's grown like a small, nice mound now as well. And again, that flowers as well, so great for insects. But it's probably just mostly Eddie kicking his football into stuff, but once it's been hit or something, or you brush past it, or you trim a bit down, it just smells. I've got some, I don't think they're edible as well, and I've got these they grow like these weird red flowers, and that smells amazing as well. But like I said, I think Rachel will probably refer to it as a sensory garden.
Oh, sensory garden. That's cute. That's a cute name. So